Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, hello, hello. Look people in the eyes with your best effort, right? So you could I think eye contact is it's low key it's needed for a like a genuine communication and connection, right? So the intuitive quote unquote spontaneous embarking insight is, obviously, like when we're shifting out of the online, we're going back into the workforce, right? So not to throw up a W in, a primitive way, throwing up a W in like how I guess the quote unquote Egyptian ancients were doing it, right? And the Egyptian ancients in its organic field, they were pre-segueing to what even the Romans had as a court system, right? And the Greeks had as a court system, right? Because the Egyptians were like slightly in the same time lane, give or take, around the Greeks, right? So I'm coming with a particular vibe, saying all caught up, right? All caught up, right? Like when I'm coming on here right now, within the surface level energies of the esoteric matrix, because it's all quote unquote esoteric, but the esoteric gets blemished and the mirror gets dirty and dusty, yada yada yada, right? So, but for real though, like on an esoteric mechanics level, like there's different contexts of a mirror, right? Like, but like everything is like, I guess, something of like one segue mirror, right? Respectively, reality showing you what your potential is or how you're being self-destructive with the potential. I was going to say potential for some reason, and that's not necessarily a word, but someone can make it up as a word, right? So potential, that's not a real word, because the people learning English, I don't want to mislead them of just like what, like, are you even using real words, or is it just your own slang that you can only understand? It's not that. I'm coming on here with like some type of balanced mind and logic, and I'm trying to make sense, right? I'm making reason, right? I'm trying to make sense and I'm making reason. So I think that's the main point of it all, right? Like like making, like actually like understanding, coming into the field of understanding of like, is it making sense? And if it's not making sense, there's different shades and fogs that are there that are put up, and who knows how they're put up, but people do know, because obviously we're trying to go, we're trying to complete the marathon, but that's the paradox in itself. The marathon isn't necessarily completed. So I'm coming on the vibe today where I'm just going to read the book, right? I'm just going to finish the sciences. I'm going to finish the timeline. I'm not going to get too hefty with the astrology. I'll probably just glance at the astrology. I had a couple beats lined up. I'll do the beats later. I might do one beat, give or take, anytime. But like there's 3 beats I'm eyeing where I want to make like a lyrical piece right now. But I'm coming on bringing the vibe here today of just being mindful that we have to kind of pick ourselves back up to kind of serve the greater good, right? Respectively, because everything is kind of an act of service, right? We're all serving ourselves, right? Like even like that, like in the dark matrix mechanics, like the opposition is like here for the soul growth, right? Because it's like, why do people have more heftier challenges than other people? Obviously that's a different conversation, and we could go back to that like later. But I'm coming on with the vibe today of just like being mindful of the work environment and the professional environment, and people like coming to work, right? They're in their mode of work. And I'm coming with the vibe today of just like kind of like within me kind of clearing up, going through like, I guess, whatever reality is. There's a all caught up vibe, right? Within the challenges that you're going through, right? Because there's the different challenges that are being thrown at you. They kind of subside as they're their own wave, right? So the different challenges that are just kind of like here, just whatever that it may be, you going to school, I guess, just kind of like everyone, like, and this is now it's not, and I'm not even trying to get too specific. I'm not, but like the quote unquote first challenge that we have is like, you know, the is where we're incarnating to, right? And the things that are around us. So obviously we're recognizing that there are different challenges within the reality, but one of the first challenges is what you're born into, right? Because that's like the main stasis that is there, right? So this is an esoteric stasis challenge, not good, not bad. And from that, as you grow from 5 to 10 to 15 to 20, 25, 30, 35 years old, etc., 60 years old, 70, 80, you're getting up there. You're like the Matrix is, and you're downplaying the Godheads. They're really watching the quote unquote, the mortal human doing their stuff, and like literally watching people grow from 0 to 5 years age till death, do their fucking thing. They've been given what they've been given, somehow still with the miraculous logic, still honor and respect, but still now it's time to have some real truth and solution at the highest level. And if you want to avoid that and throw a rock at that and have whatever response, that's somehow okay within this hard matrix, right? So what am I trying to say here? I'm coming on to the approach of, this is a professional approach, me refining that professional approach, me finishing up this series per se, you know, just kind of like, shaping it in such a way where it's like, it's efficient enough. It's like, like to like get to the point, and then prolong the series with a suitable next book that is relevant to the title of the series, the whole timeline series. So what's relevant to the whole timeline series is things that are actually like pointing to the wholeness of the timeline and timelines, right? Because it's all quote unquote within a deeper paradox underneath all the layers. Supposedly, it's all quote unquote one, right? But that's the thing. We're getting lost within the supposedlies. We're getting lost within the different contexts of the quotes on how words are being misused and misrepresented. And the example and the prime example of that is being one, right? So many different ones are being faltered and filtered in anti-pure one, confusion, like energetic fog on that one, using a one to just be away from a different one, right? So we're a different individual unit of one, going away from all of the hype that we're fucking applauding of everything is supposedly oneness, but within the matrix, as we are our own individual one, and we're trying to go back to that original oneness, there's all these different quote unquote infinite challenges of different ones that are either having a different relationship with wholeness, and they're trying to capitalize and have a demonetize or demonicalize. They're trying to demonicalize and capitalize off of a pure oneness. Or some people don't necessarily have to demonicalize in a too grotesque or distorted way, because demonicalize in the context is just being a flesh, right? Something created from like matter, from spirit, original, open source, whatever, shut the fuck up, respectively. But like, so we're our own one, going away from one. We're finding out about the quote unquote, the universal one, quote unquote, mind you. And now we're trying to attempt to sift back to that paradise of a secret balance that recognizes the timelines of the material reality of the heaven and hell on the material realm, esoteric science, right? Or like in a different original energy of it, right? So within that, as we're trying to like use things in the material reality, there's just new mechanics and hidden mechanics that are governing the segue and the long term of the material life, and then after the life. So like slow down. It's just the esoteric science. So you have to really be in a mode of listening when you're listening to me, in respects and professionalism. I'm trying to make a real valid solution point. So if anybody is throwing a stone at me, then you're like disrespecting the purity of like, you know, a different type of original intellect. And that's literally what that is, respectively. So what am I trying to say? As we're in the material reality, there's two different timelines within the material reality. A segue of something that's positively material, or a segue that's something negatively material. And since we were in a yuga of a shadow time, that yuga there was a small remnant of it that only gained the advantage of of um of like how like negative of how like the negative matrix can only like serve a lesser few, right? So since the timeline is shifting, we don't necessarily like the negative matrix or like, you know, the negative material heaven that's opposed to the positive material heaven. That's being entirely reshifted just based on the container of the time ages that are shifting from a particular field of more darkness with more potential confusion going to a different field of time, respectively, the shifting of the ages. So if there's a different field of time and energy and etc., then the whole system in a different solar system front is adjusting on its own accord, and then everything here is energetically shifting in energetic reverence to that, you know, it's acclimating and it's adjusting and it's following suit energetically to a bigger shift that's happening, and we're just going along for the ride, and we're playing our part within our own individual compartments as it shifts. Number one. So as it shifts within our own compartment, that means our material life is being more tested in an enhanced way. And obviously on a low-key level, the spiritual life is always being tested, because after your life is done, then whatever you reincarnate to next, that's what you get, right? You get what you get type of shit with the esoteric science flavor, right? So I'm not trying to like condescend anybody here, first of all. Second of all, we're all in the shift within our own micro compartment, right? So if we all have our own micro compartment, whatever career or profession you have, that's having a drastic shift because the field is changing, right? So since the field is changing, everyone has to follow up and take notes on how to adjust in balance and some type of quote unquote energetic benevolence so you can maintain and catch up long-term hope, supposedly positively and blissfully, so you could keep getting whatever sustainability that you're getting standardly. So what am I trying to say here is like, and it's really interesting that I'm putting it in a graceful way like that, right? Because obviously we all get the approaches of just like some type of like toxicity mentalities, right? It's like somehow that's even being transcended too, right? Because obviously I'm sure everyone has like some type of keen awareness to recognize a toxic mentality, right? Or a toxicity mentality, just to put it more sophisticatingly, right? So obviously we all have some type of keen awareness to recognize that there is toxicity mentalities. Duh. So why is that important to like ponder on? Because that's how people are operating and moving within the reality and approaching whatever they're approaching, right? Whatever they're approaching, what does that mean? If someone's approaching you, then your innate instinct ability knows if they're going to have a toxic mentality strategy approach or hopefully not, right? And everybody has that keen innate ability to detect if someone has like, is just like a sketch psychological thing, right? So what am I really trying to say here is like, I'm recognizing that, and since I'm recognizing that, I have the ability to particularly transcend that. And why is it important to particularly transcend toxicity mentalities? So it doesn't fuck up your field, a different type of esoteric boundaries, a different type of esoteric governance, right? And quote unquote and original infrastructures, right? That aren't just replicated and copy pasted in slick ways that you wouldn't know, but still there's grace here, right? So so the first note of this whole video presentation is me saying all caught up to go and to pivot in elbow in, metaphorically elbow in, all caught up to pivot in and slide in to the professional field of the workforce life, right? So what does that mean? The professional field of the workforce life. The reality in the matrix, aside from the people and the circumstances around you, there's an innate inclination of the soul that needs to kind of like more or less do some type of work, right? You have to do something, right? Duh. But that's look it. So there's there's different themes concurrently going on, right? As we're attempting and approaching to do work, there's different challenges that are here through the matrix that are like kind of like, I guess like there's just different walls being operated, and within those walls that are being operated, you could say that's synonymous metaphorically and energetically to a challenge, but they could be their own different things, right? So within the challenges that we're going through, we're attempting to show up to the workforce. If, not good, not bad, but could be, reality could weigh us down or bring us down. It's a nuance, right? So since reality could kind of bring us down, not good, not bad, but it could be, it's our spirit's job and our higher self's job, and supposedly God, just observes it. It's our job to pick ourselves back up, right? So our job is to pick ourselves back up from the from whatever's happening, right? So within whatever's happening is like the start of this presentation is me saying all caught up in such a way where I could show up to the reality, right? So my point that I'm trying to make is I'm showing up to the reality in the professional field of the workforce as best as I can within the detrimental and the non-detrimental matrix mechanics and matrix challenges that every mortal human faces. You're coming up from different matrix mechanics, detrimental, non-detrimental, to just have the ability and the sovereignty to drink and hold your cup and drink a cup of coffee. That's God's mechanics allowing you to do that, right? So within that, there's other background and proxy challenges, and not necessarily proxy, but there's other bigger background challenges that are testing you to see if you could be sovereign next life too, because this is advanced spirituality. So pause with all of just the irrelevant noise and the irrelevant hype and the irrelevant drama. Pause with all of that now and listen to the essence of the solution and actually do your job in a more transcended way, respectively, to the energy, right? So I'm coming to the best of my approach to the workforce professional life by me dealing with my own esoteric karmas to clean up so I could be all caught up. So the theme of this presentation is what? It starts off with, and I'll put that on the other dash, right? Or whatever. So before you have the assumption of this, your random assumptions, I'm not judging the monkey mind either. The monkey mind, it's a part of the nuanced advanced matrix mechanics, because whatever the monkey mind's doing, it's changing, right? It's changing and it has its own feelings, and it's peeping game to the shift of the matrix, right? So I'm not demonizing anything in a different advanced esoteric way. I'm seeing the esoteric science of it, and I'm just doing this for the bigger picture. And if other people's monkey minds want to try to pull some type of shit card on me, then supposedly only God can help you. So that's why you have to work with like the real intelligence of the universe, right? Like for real though. And then that will do its talking for you. That will prove what it needs to prove for you. That will show the work what it needs to show for. So the whole purpose of this conversation is all caught up. And I'm trying to select the designated page. Why didn't I just put a flappy tab or whatever? Damn it. So I should have put the flappy tab because I don't necessarily like skimming through the pages. Okay, it's right here. Okay, here it is. So okay, pause. I took notes before, and start this from the beginning, as I like to casually say, so you could get like, the full like peak understanding, right? I guess. So the first note among the many other notes is I'm attempting to come more prepared. So I took notes on how I would like to sequence the presentation casually, right? And just, and just seeing the evolution of things at a different level, right? So start this from the beginning. And obviously that's like, that's chill, things are like paradoxically like, what is the collective monkey mind really saying, right? So the collective monkey mind is Mercury. Let me read these notes before I do an intuitive astrology tangent. Let me read the notes on how I would like to like present this presentation. And within one of the bullet points of the notes is read this book. And then after I finish this last section of the science of this book, because the section 3 is just the sciences supposedly, then I'm going to pick a different book that is pertinent to the whole timeline series in a way where we find ourselves where we're at in the modern times of how things are shifting and how like, how we have our own relationship with Mercury and Thoth. And that's kind of its own thing. And Mercury and Thoth, in his original open source context, he's been doing this shit quality since 2012. And now my good karma is my grace and my gratitude is just to kind of like follow up on that relationship with Mercury Thoth and accept, the Mercury Thoth karma of everything is brutal responsibility, right? Because whatever happens, you triggered it from the spells that you're giving, the conversations that you've had your whole life. They've all been documented. They've all been spiritually documented, and they've all been spiritually critiqued, right? So what does that mean? Spiritually documented and spiritually critiqued. It means other people have thrown some type of quote unquote good or bad eye at you to either assess you and drag you down or lift you up based on the conversations of the shifting matrix mechanics that we're living in right now in this modern reality, because we're a product of all the different types of karma that we're at, right? So all the different types of karma has landed us where we're at right now, right? And so the sequence of the notes is all caught up. Second is there will be a time where I will review, or I can review my, like, okay, so I'm going to pause. So like everything that I'm saying, it holds like a whole different range of significance. And obviously it, shout out to people's advanced translators, right? People like, obviously you could put this in a different language, right? But hopefully your translator accurately translates what I'm saying, right? Because the things that I'm saying, it's in such a unique way that I've always originally spoke like this, and in a different cross-reference, you could see where even in 2012, in a different advanced esoteric level, within the advanced simulation matrix, AI was advanced even in 2005, even the year 2000, because the CIA always had their version of the AI, right? So this surface level AI in 2025, they've had that in the year 2000, but we're just like sheepy masses or in energetically, right? But we don't have to be like in the mental, right? And that's me putting it standardly, but like, so within a different version of the AI, they've been quote unquote not good, not bad, reviewing us, right? Reviewing us and studying us, right? Not good, not bad, right? So within that, it's like so within the surface level AI and everybody replicating everybody's shit, there's a more advanced main one that knows where certain shifts happen. And I'm just saying that as is. So the second point of my sequence of notes is review. What am I reviewing? Review, quote unquote, fill in the blank, right? So what I'm going to review is, eventually, like, eventually I'll review all the casual like YouTube shit, right? And I'll like kind of like I'll like there are times where like I'll like pause the YouTube, right? Like I'll put it all on private and I'll just review it, but that'll be like in a different that'll be when I'm like more like whenever like I'm really like whenever the subconscious wants to do that, right? But what I also could review is the recent blog post too, because I don't want to leave it in a two-dimensional, like kind of hanging fashion, right? So we all have shifting chances, because I could see any case, right? Where we all have shifting chances. So it's like, so within what logical mind do y'all think like that y'all could like discriminate the crimes, right? Because if two different, and I'm just saying it standardly, if two different races do the same crime, but they're giving like a verdict, they're giving different verdicts, then that's just a recent it's just a recent matrix program, right? It's a recent, so we have to focus on the positive, right? So it's like, if you did the crime, then within like, the modern advanced balance of the logistics of quote unquote justice, then there's a transaction that will be issued, right? But that's the thing, like people are like having their own frantic frenzies, and they're focusing, or they're either focusing for whatever reason, or just caught up for whatever reason, energetically, karmically, with the chaos of life, that they're just like, they're energetically opposed to the solution, or they're energetically opposed to like the change and the evolution of life, right? Because I like, honestly, like I've been expressing this like within different outlets, right? There's different outlets of this shit. It's not just YouTube, right? There's different outlets. So it's like, when we're coming onto YouTube, what's important to remember when we're coming onto YouTube, it's not just YouTube. There's different outlets of life, right? The internet, right? Like when we're going out into the world, that's also connected to the internet. So it's like, within the different outlets of life, there's been a different depositing esoteric mental work. And what that mental work is, it's sovereign expression for solutions, right? Original open source, number one, right? So it's sovereign expression for solutions, right? So that's why the intelligence is slightly above everybody's AI, because I'm originally open sourcing and maintaining the balance of the original logic, right? And like, and being pure with the words, right? So what am I really trying to say? Like, I've already had I see the cases, right? Like I'm seeing the cases, right? There's millions and billions of different cases, right? So what am I trying to say here? Within all the different cases, what's new to you could be old to someone else, and what's old to someone else could be new for someone else. So it's like, maybe there could have been a solution right there for even the supreme judges, but it was just kind of like under their nose, respectively, right? Like in respects to the within respects to the energy. So what do I mean? It's like, we all have some type of energetic hope to keep catching up with new solutions in life, right? With new hope and insight of energies, right? So we all have that new hope standardly to keep catching up with solutions that were right under our nose. And for whatever individually or collective matrix wise, we could be downplaying the solutions for whatever reason. But then you have to ask, why are you downplaying the solution? So pause right there. Why are you downplaying the solution? Pause. Because, and I'm without the condescending either, because I'm human too, and I'm catching up to new solutions too. But in general, why are you downplaying the solutions? And I'm not even getting astro with it, but I guess like it's more or less astro, because Mercury's like giving us the gift of intellect, and the gift of intellecting change and intellecting shift, or shift intellect, or whatever, original open source. And he's and his beacon is in a certain quadrant where he's aspecting all of the other planets so he could like, deduce and organize things how they will be organized based on the beacon of Mercury, what's opposing Mercury, and how the surface level things are more catered to the earthlings, and they're more focused on the development and the evolution of the nervous system, Mercury, Earth, Sun, Saturn, Venus. So within that, and then the different significant holds that are, letting Mercury organize the whole thing on a different level, because we're downplaying this shit. That's the thing. So it's like, why are you downplaying the solutions? You're caught up in the lower octave of the planetary karmas, and everybody needs help. But like, if I were to give you the energy you're giving me, then you need help in the bigger picture. And that's like, I'm saying it on like a different standard note, right? So the sequence is all caught up, review. Maybe tomorrow on the business episode, I'll review the notes that I'm saying. And then the third bullet point note is finish science of esoteric. Oh, wait. I put esoteric standardness for some reason. So the third note is finish this book. The fourth note is what book will come after this to keep the whole timeline series going. The fifth bullet point note is astro recent. Like, how has the astrology been working for us? And then, and then the last note is, what's the astrology like today, right? Like, it respects to the nature, right? So after I read this book, I will attempt to do the astrology, and maybe I'll do a song. So the main point of me coming on this live was just to continue with the work of this book and to celebrate that I caught up to be here, right? I'm at like some type of clear mind, right? Transcending the branding system respectively. I'm here at a clear mind to be like, to be honored enough to keep going, right? To however that's possible, right? So the first two notes is all caught up. The pre-notes is all caught up, and professionality, right? Or whatever. And gratitude, because I'm coming on here. Whoa. I was at a certain beach, and sometimes I talk to elderly people. I'm like, I just like, we like, people be entertaining each other, within the network. And somehow we were talking about books. He asked me if I like books. I was like, of course I like books. I think he asked me, then what are your favorite books? And then I think I said, like, just, off the top of my tongue, obviously people like it's funny. I read that book in one day. I read the book, The Alchemist, in one day. The first time I got the book, The Alchemist, at one of my old houses, I got the book, The Alchemist, and I just read it in one day because I felt it. I looked at it. I knew it was easy enough to read. And I just read it in one day. It took me I feel like it took me like 6 hours, more or less, just like within like a certain flow. But obviously that's give or take. But like, I was talking to this old guy on the beach, and he gave me this card. And what does the card say? freetolaughnow.com. I don't know what that means. And on the back of the card is, I guess he listed his favorite books. And then he wrote on the back of the card, since he couldn't fit it on the type, he wrote two books that he recommended. No, he wrote 3 book recommendations. And I'm not going to say it, but it's on Libby app. So obviously Libby is doing its thing, right? So shout out to Libby, just casually. But I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I see 16 book recommendations on the back of this card. And 3 out of the 16 book recommendations, he had to handwrite the book recommendations. And, ooh, these books, oh my God. So like my style is, it's my style right here. It's like, it's very like, it's very, I guess it's very knowledgeable and it's very informative, right? And other people have different styles, right? I'm just being not everyone's gonna like me, obviously, like duh. And I don't have to force it. I don't have to care about it. But obviously, if someone doesn't like me and they want to make something of it, then obviously the spiritual like guards need to be up, right? And that's like, and for me to just utter that, right? Spiritual guards, that changes like the things that I'm saying. I've made more changes, and I'm saying this neutrally on an advanced neutral level. Like in the backdrop, I've made more changes than any of these tech CEOs. And I'm just saying that casually, right? Supposedly we're repping neutral. So if we're repping neutral, then that neutral is gonna not necessarily per se test you, but it's gonna follow up with you, right? So it's like if you're repping something, you're quote unquote esoterically, mind the etymology of the words, you're cursing yourself. But not like that in that nuance, right? Like we're cursing ourselves. That's what the advanced predecessors are saying. The shit that we're repping, we're eventually gradually attracting them more or less, and that's going to test us, right? So when people know what, the colors they're using and the hidden meanings of the colors, and they're repping that color and they say they're about it, but if they say they're about it, but in some nuance they're not, then that esoterically has to be courted higher octave Venus, right? Where Venus talks to the real daddies and the real grandmothers, right? And then Venus brings all of that universal shit and funnels it out here within some original esoteric funnels, esoterically science as it is, right? So Venus is courting this shit standardly and shifting within this shit in a particular nuance shift as she's getting granddaddy shit, right? So what am I trying to say? It's like we're being esoterically courted. We're being like, because the universal law and the universal mechanics, that's doing its thing, right? So if we're not mindful of that, then the quality of the product of how we show up into the workforce will be questioned. Hello, everybody. I'm saying that within the esoteric science, within a higher real universe. So in respects to the profession of having the gratitude and the ability to show up, I'm going to read this chapter. And then I'll go to the, start this from the beginning. And then I'll go to the astrology after the chapter I read. So chapter 13 is 157. Let me show you this picture right here. Just to keep the flow of the, that was in the second skipped section. So did I read chapter 13? Yeah, I think I did. Oh. Okay, I left off on chapter 13, but I'm just going to go straight to 14. Orpheus Revisited. Terence McKenna, Rupert Sheldrake, and I have shared there. And there was also a different book where I read like a triple biography of Terence McKenna, Rupert Sheldrake, and some other biologist. So I'm going to look up the book. There's this other book, and it was just a lot. I'm just like into like remembering books, right? Terence McKenna, Rupert Sheldrake, and Ralph. Oh my gosh! A long time ago. Oh! Like 10 years ago. Oh my gosh! This book right here. I remember this book like a long time ago. So this guy's an OG, dude. So oh my, this was the third guy. I read this book a long time ago. The Evolutionary Mind, Conversations on Science. Imagine, I read this book a lot. I went through it a long time ago. And I think for some reason, Terrence McKenna looks like Jeffrey Dahmer in this photo. Not to bring up Dahmer in the conversation. Obviously, obviously the OG courts, they've already had their fill with like the 1990s, like murder cases or around that ballpark of time. But I'm not trying to give anybody a Jeffrey Dahmer vibe, but and obviously now Dexter comes to mind. And obviously the Dexter books before the show, I would think, right? The Dexter books, they're like it's a whole different style too, right? So this book right here, wow. And now I'm reading the single art author, Abraham Ralph, or R. Abraham. Okay, so let me structure this up. And then, esoterically, intellectually, having the esoteric intellectual bridge insight, original, like, within the nature of it is standing true to there's a higher notion where there is an intelligence that is beyond, like, feeling it though. There's an intelligence that is beyond all of the AIs and everybody's AI hype. And obviously people are going to feel all types of ways. I get it. All the feelings will come out, right? So that's why the generative human design is here, right? So let me like and obviously, like, I understand not everyone's gonna like my style. So I'm gonna read chapter 14. After I read chapter 14, I'll do some astrology. Maybe I'll do a beat. Maybe I'll do a beat right now just to kind of like, get a commercial in, right? So who knows? I'm just gonna pick a random beat, So music, people are saying, people are like, maybe people might just, life just might hit them, right? And they might say, maybe I'm at fault. Maybe I might have some type of error, right? How can I fix my faults? Music. Maybe go to music, because if the cosmos is coming from music and we're going away from cosmos in an untruthful way for one reason, and we want to go back to some type of quote unquote pure spirituality, how could we go back to the pure spirituality? My first intuitive answer would just be casually would just be music, right? And that's a graceful mouthful, right? Because it's like music, one word to kind of just encapsulate, volumes of festivals and big gatherings, right? Big gatherings falling under the umbrella of just music. So maybe just like, follow the quote unquote, follow the music within your own discernment and intelligence, right? Because I'll see the different catch lines, but so within saying that, let's see, is this random beat? If you're in the market, chances are you're left confused. You got it. Gonna give it all I got. Gonna give it all I got. Yeah, gonna give it all I have. Oh, I thought it was an instrumental. Damn it. I thought that was an instrumental. I clicked on a song and it was not an instrumental. Damn it. Darn it. I thought this. I clicked on a song and it was not a beat. I already did that beat. And I'm just flowing, right? So the thing is, it's like, okay, here's the thing right here. It's like, no, I'll get to that point later because I, you know, there's points that should be saved for later, right? Okay, so let me just do a. I don't even necessarily have to rap on the beat. I'll just do like a commercial, right? And start this from the beginning, and maybe like yeah, maybe like you know, maybe obviously like you know maybe in the future like it won't be so like you know pausey, right? It won't be so gappy, right? But like I encourage people to start this from the beginning. Um, like okay, watch history. I don't know what YouTube doesn't give me good beats. I have to like literally shit. Am I gonna like yeah. No Gatorade enthralled and filled charger. Yo, I'm on the beach sipping on Arnold Palmer's. The world is in someone's palm. Yo, I didn't mean to harm you, halt you. Yo, I didn't mean to. She's a soul starver. She's a soul harvester. Yo, I see it in your eyes. You've been through the depth of things. You becoming way darker. You becoming harder. Are you a self-starter? I'm a snake charmer. I'm a ocean wave parter. I'm a alarm ya, charm ya. I'm a alter the scene and the visual effects do not fizz out when I rephase this recoagulation. Yo, out. Californication, yo, re-amalgamating my cerebral synaptic matrix zone, cerebral synaptics. Please don't be too fractic, bringing tactics that they never seen. I'm whiplashing, yo, surfing, riding the waves with the horse parade. I parade and bomb ya, taunt ya. Yo, I'm just fond of you that you listening to new things, new scenes, new flicks, new chicks, new ish, new. None of this even fucking exists. Write it before they fucking steal it. Read them and reap it. When I fucking street sweep clean it, yo, and bomb you. I didn't mean to so starve you. I didn't mean to harm you. I come like a straight motherfucker. Now Gatorade, enthralled, infused, charger. Gatorade, volted up, charger, coming like I am dying, doing it for Sparta. Yo, never falter, straight altar, create my own altar, like it is a ritualistic effect. Yo, Tartaria is connected to the metaphor of Pokemon. Pokemon Season 2, 151 to 252. What it do? Woo woo woo. Who is that? Woo woo woo. Hear the owls dancing and mating, parading, chanting and chanting. Do not be alarming. Don't be crying wolf now. Time to go dormir, time to go to sleep, time to make your bed. You made your bed, now you sleep in it. Who's creeping in it? Cyber shit, cyber truck, yo, cyber reptilian shit, yo, obsidian is how dark my heart is. Parting the seas of the consciousness like it ain't a fucking thing. One night fling, yo, feel my inner sting, sing, yo, banquet of scorpions on the prowl, rise, then they snap my finger, then they flee, bleed, smoke you like a bleed, never tripping though, leave a drippy though, leave them straight slurpy though, leave them fuzzing out the mouth, cause they straight conniving, thralling, and I'm everybody on their own proud, ow, yo, down and out, yo, down and up, down and left, down and right, down and in, down and out, down and where, down and implosively, expansion, contraction, yo, this is God's mansion. Gatorade infused, yo, next level, hypercharged, straight up, yo, tighten like charger. I'm a wave parter, yo, why'd you gotta torture me, soul starver, yo, self-educated, I read through the lines, I ain't need no Yale, I ain't need no Harvard, harvest what I must do now, what I must do, can this shit be undone, yo, can I still spew it all, can I turn the rope of yarn into straight strings of gold? Strings of gold, motherfucker, original immortal. Never do I grow old now. Oh, snap now. Boom, chicka pow, boom, chicka way, yo. Make a way, make a new path. Motherfucker, save, raid the game. No, play it like it's fucking laser tag. You a hag, I don't need a fucking brag. I'm the original ultimate fucking bag of bags, making any fucking bag. Got the supercalifragilistic futuristic swag, yo, grenade tag you, yo, this a fucking different death game, death play, then day, like I'm Guardian, Dragon Ball Z, get the fuck off my ballsy, cerebral palsy is how I get that straight ditzy donkers, shout out to the producer, did Kurt, I didn't mean to fucking pop it off, no Hitler, one hitter, ditter, dunner, quitter, yo, splash and thrash it, yo, one and done, yo, I leave them all whirlwindingly like spun lightning in my fucking hand, I am the gun, yo, and I know y'all armed to the motherfucking grit, yo, spitting venomous shit, volcanic Hawaiian lava, echo pala shit, yo, I'm classic like an Impala, you punk ass beezy trick. I'm a wave parter, I'm a self-starter, got the encrypted mystic genie vibe like I'm a snake charmer, Dalai Lama flow, spit it like now you got new trauma, ho, yo, I'm a straight, yo, esoterically bomb you though. Yo, Jeffrey Dahmer flow, cause I'm killing them all so undeniably, ever so soft now. Glossed out, boxed out, flopped out in my own right, cause I'm upholding this other type of shit. Yo, Gatorade infused, hypercharged charger. I'm a self-starter. I'm a straight parter.
So what does the future of co-ownership look like?
Well, I think the future of co-ownership is super bright, and the biggest sort of change and evolution of our business model, I think, will be around geographic and market expansion. Today, as I mentioned, we're in about 40 destinations, mostly in the U.S., but we also have some properties in Mexico and the U.K. But as we look out into the future, we hope to make co-ownership accessible in almost any destination where someone would want to own a second home.
That's amazing. You're breaking barriers and proving that home ownership can have no borders.
That's exactly right.
Guys, UMGC is waiving their application fee through May 30th.
Yo. Jeering here. Jeering, I'm staring, I'm swearing, I'm daring, I'm hearing, I'm hearing, I'm fearing, I'm blaring, I'm glaring, I'm leering, I'm mirroring, I'm swearing, I'm mirroring. Yo, schmeagling, heagling, beagling, beagling, heagling, schmeagling, I'm smearing. Like Jiren and Omni King and Goku. I'm coming way harder, coming like I'm doing them motherfucking Sparta, coming way darker, coming like a charger, coming like a snake charmer. I'm a self-starter, yo, I'm straight robbing up, straight, yo, I'm my own robber shit. Yo, coming way harder, I'ma do it for Sparta. Yo, I'm a straight charger, I'ma charge through, I'ma pull through, I'ma bust through, I'ma bust through, I'ma gun through, I'ma spit through, I'ma undo you, yo, I'm cumbersome. What is this? Yo, I'm gonna come in like I'm at a festival called Wanderlust. Yo, I'm self-starter, yo, got that crispy, got that mystic genie vibe like a self-snake charmer. I got that mystic genie vibe like a snake charmer. I didn't mean to alarm ya. I didn't mean to napalm ya. I just got the crystal shards like I'm watching Inuyasha. Yo, like Tada, Wala. Yo, please don't give me that Kaka vibe on some Egyptian Ka vibe. Baba is here. Yo, I'm that esoteric Faja. You can call me that Papa, and I'm just like la la la. I'm just like Dali, la la, the llama. Yo. Holy like that. I never said I was holier than now. Never said it couldn't be done. Yo, I'm coming on my own trilogy, coming on my own pursuit, coming on my own event horizon. I'm rising. Like Blanca, I'ma shock ya, I'ma push it through like a Tonka, and I'm coming out. I never meant to do what I had to do, but it had to be done, so I had to do it, yo. Imagination, like new facts and preferences. Mystic, yo, encrypted mystic genie vibe like a snake charmer. Encrypted mystic genie vibe like a snake charmer. So that was the last lyrical bar for those two songs. So I did 2 new songs right now. They were kind of like whatever though. So the last bar was encrypted mystic genie vibe like a snake charmer. And like may the respectively, may the discerning be there in the courts respectively. That there's just a different approach. You know, like we can't let the music industry just rape data and respectively and like just be like a percentage of them is just paid to be copycats, right? Like within the esoteric science, right? So we can't let one part of the music industry just like rape data and like it be okay, right? So that's the whole. We're bringing this shit to a forefront, right? I'm saying it standardly, right? We can't let, and it's not the music industry. We can't let like certain like data companies just not reciprocate, right? So I'm gonna end this here for some reason because I think so I'll come back in like half an hour, and I don't need to do the astrology right now. but it like, Mercury, Jesus is with us. Jesus is always with us. And Jesus has his own, his own change, right? And there's a lot of Christ within this book, ironically too. So I'm gonna flash the book. So when I say Jesus, I'm also thinking of like, I'm seeing where Jesus is like in the Gnostic Christianity, and the Gnostic Christianity, they're also like, they also have, their own relationship with, I guess, the quote unquote, like the Hindu stuff, right? Because that's what life is. Life is the differentiation of cultures coming together to make new things, right? And there was another point I wanted to say about the Big J. It'll come back. It'll come back. So there was another point I wanted to say about Big J, but I'll write it down when it comes. Or maybe I'll just should I just read? Yeah, I'll just read it right now. I'll just read like the opening page. So like chapter 14, just the opening, and then I'll come back later today and I'll skim through 14 and 13, right? So Terrence McKenna, Rupert Sheldrake, and I have shared great times talking into the night, blending our thoughts in synergy. Terrence McKenna, Rupert Sheldrake, and R. Abraham. So he's so this is his experience. Terrence McKenna, Rupert Sheldrake, and I have shared great times talking into the night, blending our thoughts in synergy. Terrence lives near me in California. Rupert lives in London and usually visits California in the fall. When we have our annual trialogues, in fall 1988, we devised an experiment in exporting our experience to a public venue. Yup. A workshop at the Esalen Institute. In September of 1989, a thrilling interaction took place, entwining the themes of chaos, creativity, and the imagination. After the workshop, we visited with Nancy K. Lunny, the Esalen program director. Nancy knows thousands of show tunes and has an uncanny ability to get people to sing them as she plays accompaniment on her piano. While Rupert was busy with his son Merlin, Terrence and I had a transcendental experience singing Irish Eyes, significantly strengthening our bond. I didn't fluently say that sentence. So while Rupert was busy with his son Merlin, Terrence and I had a transcendental experience singing Irish Eyes, significantly strengthening our bond. Impressed by Nancy's skill in catalyzing this experience, I proposed to her that we do a workshop together on the 3 M's: math, music, and myth. So there it is right there. People are like, how could I improve with you with this real fucking quality, best next level shit? Well, I'm intuitively flowing with y'all. I'm here with God's mission for real. I came, cleared my shit, all caught up. I'm all caught up. I'm here showing up, and now I'm reading a book. The 3 M's: math, music, and myth. The original idea for the workshop was to seek hit songs that present, perhaps in disguise, the themes of Orphism or the myth of Orpheus. She introduced me to her friend David Shire, a musical theater composer and fan of dynamical systems theory, and the workshop began to take form. The workshop took place in July of 1990, and I learned a lot. The information presented in this chapter. During this workshop, David said to me, a myth is an attractor in the world of ideas. which radically changed my approach to dynamics in history. I'll just read the whole chapter. Just because I'm like, I got back into it, right? Because the songs, I did the songs, I'm like, whoa, chill out. The fable. The long line of Orphism extends from our Paleolithic past into the foreseeable future. Its characteristic features are encoded into the Roman fable of Orpheus and Eurydice, one of the oldest still living legends of the European tradition, somewhat like the Ramayana of India. From the point of the partnership dominator theory of prehistory, we may interpret this fable as a vestige of the lost partnership of the past. Orpheus is the prototypical feminist male hero, seeking to restore the equality and partnership of the genders. That's ironic as hell. Orphism survives in the modern day, and from the time of Christ onward, almost exclusively in this myth. This chapter is devoted to our heritage of the long line of Orphism and the form of the Orpheus myth and the mythogenesis of this theme from earliest Sumer, Anana, Erishkigal, and Dumuzi to the present. I'll come back, y'all.